I would say the church is in crisis because the church has failed to be faithful to one of its primary mandates, which is the protection of the dignity of the human person and the ability to create environments in which people can flourish. And so we have failed in caring rightly and justly for the victims, and we have failed in making sure that what we said we had put in place was put in place in all cases. Thankfully, the church has found itself in crisis before and has always found a path forward to be able to be renewed and to be purified. And so, as hard as it is to live in this moment, I think that hopefully we'll be stronger for it as we move through it.
Sources of hope and renewal in the church always appear, and often in the least expected places. One of these places is among the least likely of people. Usually it's like some woman, right, in a religious community somewhere, or some man in a religious community somewhere, or a lay person, or a bold priest. So I don't know that we have to expect it in some place, but we know, generally speaking, there is renewal going on in the church right now. You see it among young people, you see it among these dynamic religious communities that have appeared over the past quarter of a century or so. These are places, I think, that are going to help carry us through this, where the church is going to undergo a kind of unexpected renewal of herself through the vehicle of loving, joyous, faithful men and women. Again, it's probably going to be young men and women who do this. I know some of these communities, and they're extraordinary sources of power, even though that's, of course, the last thing that they're seeking. And that's a message, right? That's a lesson for a lot of us, that if we go back to the issue of clericalism, or we go back to, the root causes of where we are right now, one of those, we're taught this in Scripture and the theological tradition, of course, is power. And it's in the pursuit of power for its own sake, often, that human beings find themselves getting into trouble. And when you find these men and women in religious community who, again, the last thing they're looking for is power, they're looking for discipleship, they're looking to follow, they're looking to serve. And as they do so, of course, their power just expands, and their capacity to influence, to draw others in, become transformative devices against their own will almost, just expands as well. And that's, I think, how the church is going to renew herself yet again in this time. That's always been the spring from which renewal has been nourished. People looking for authentic, deep discipleship, and then becoming magnets, things around which the rest of us sort of congregate by virtue of their own holiness.